Welcome everyone. I'm Mrs. Delwich, the counselor for grades 6 through 9. Mrs. Pay and I are going to give you a little tour of what your first day of school might look like. So these are the doors where you're going to be dropped off either by your parent or a bus. Mrs. Pay is going to give you a view of the new area.
Buses will be dropping you off right here by that walkway, where you can walk right up to the sidewalk and to the front doors.
So we're going to take a walk through our new front doors. And this is where you will enter in through school, right down the hallway. This is our new high school office area. Mr. Bosley's office will be through the door. Betty will be right here to greet you in the morning.
She's a rock star, so get in good with Betty.
And if you continue to walk down this hall, it's our new cafeteria. As you can see, there's been a few changes for safety reasons. We have the plexiglass for students, lots of tables, 2 different areas for you to get your lunch, and you will go over those different things when you actually come in for your first lunch. We also have an area that was added on with a sink and a new coffee area that you'll be able to experience.
And if we're in the hall looking straight ahead, well, you see a teacher walking down the hall, Mr. Kazonis. Some of you may have him, some of you may not. Straight ahead is going to be the end doors, and those doors out the back will be where you exit at the end of the day to get to your bus. All the buses will be parked in that U-shaped in front of the auditorium Eagle Gym area. So you can exit those doors and go to your bus, and they will be in the same spot every single day, just like they were last year when you were in 8th grade and other middle school years. From this spot, if we go backwards a little bit, you can see that we have areas straight forward, and then we also have C Hall. This hall is predominantly going to be your shop and your metals classes. So we'll take a little walk down so we can show you where those rooms are for those of you that are taking power and metals or wood.
On the right. Walk on the right, please. Thank you, ma'am.
This is Mr. Beamer. For those of you who haven't met him yet, he's our SOAR teacher. And you will see that down the hallway there is a strip of tape. Due to the COVID, we are asking that all students walk down on the right side always. So traffic will be moving in the same direction on each side of the hallway, so we don't have a much jumbling and bustling into people. And here we are, first class, Mr. Wilson, and this is going to be the shop area. Hey, Mr. Wilson.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
That'll be your teacher for Woods if you have him this first semester. And we're just going to take a little peek into the classroom so you can see the shop area. There you go. And then it's equipped with desks and stuff too, so when you have your learning and lesson time, and you'll notice all the desks are spaced apart to follow the new regulations. Through the door in the back will be our shop area for the metals classes. We'll take a walk down the hallway back out where we were in C Hall so we can go see Mr. LeBron and hear about that. And here we are, Mr. LeBron's room. You'll notice every teacher has their name up above the door, and also on the side of the door is their number. So if you look on your schedule, all the numbers will be listed to the classes to help you find your way. And inside we found Mr. LeBron.
Hello.
So for those of you that are taking power and metals, he will be your teacher. He has the classroom set up here. And then we'll also take a walk through his classroom into the shop area so you can see some of the equipment that you'll be working on if you take his class. It's nice and long and deep. So if you take the power and metals, it gives you the opportunity to take CNC, manufacturing, welding and fab.
Advanced metals. We work on the race car in the advanced metals class. For example, that's the CNC machining and then welding and fabricating all put together, and they can do all the different things.
So lots of great opportunities if you go that route. All right, we're gonna head back into C Hall, and we're gonna go back down to where we were, over to the cafeteria, so you can see when we start back at the cafeteria, at that corner, going straight ahead.
Okay, everybody, so we're back in our main hall right outside the cafeteria. So in here you will find our high school gym. This is where you will have your Phi Ed classes with either Mrs. Virgin or Mr. Claflin.
Those two side doors in the back is actually going to be where your locker rooms will be. There's a little small hallway back there, so boys' locker room is on that side. Girls' locker room is on this side. For the first day though, when you have Phi Ed, you're going to report into the gym, and the gym teachers will give you your locker combinations and Phi Ed lockers. So they will bring you into there, give you a tour, and explain how that's all going to work this year. And back to the hallway we go.
Okay, so right now we're at the corner of the A and B hall. This is where you will find our Director of Pupil Services, if you need any of those type of staff to talk to. When you continue down in this hall, right here you'll find the women's bathroom and the men's bathroom are right in the corner.
So we're entering A hall now. We're just going to take you to the classes that you guys will have as a freshman. Possibilities.
Some of you may have Mr. Carson, and if you do, this was his classroom.
Nick is?
Yeah, he wasn't on my list before.
Okay, Mike got the
Some of you may have
I've got Dylan.
Microsoft Word
And Noah.
with Mrs. Bauman, and this is her classroom. And when we continue down, all of you at some point will have Mr. Klein for health, and this is where you will find his classroom.
That's Mr. Klein right there in the blue shirt.
Depending
So.
on what period you have me.
Oh,
Might be coming to the middle school too.
gotcha. Well, you guys are familiar with the middle school, so that's good.
Many of you chose an elective such as woods, forestry, small animal management, large animal production, horticulture, wildlife management, and you will have Miss Glowacki, who is sitting at her desk. And this is her classroom.
There she is.
Also in this classroom, many times you find various critters, which she will help teach you how to take care of those.
Ms. Glowacki, you're going to have live animals in here this year?
If I can have them as guests, they won't be able to live here.
All right. Well, so you might get to see some guests.
You might see
Guest
some guests.
visitors.
So as we continue down this hall, all of you will also have World Studies and Geography second semester and Political Science first semester, and you will have that with Mrs. Schley.
Oh, she's sitting with the flowers with her back to us. Mrs. Schley, can you give us a
Hey,
wave,
Mrs.
please?
Schley.
Hello.
All right, and then that's Mrs. Virgin, your Phi Ed teacher, and Miss Bauman if you decide to take Microsoft Word.
Okay. I thought you were taking a picture of me. I hate pictures. Hello.
No, video. Thank you. All of you will also have integrated science. So you will also have Mr. Samuels, and his class is located right here.
Just a quick scan into the room of what the science room looks like. Keep in mind, teachers are putting together their stuff and we are organizing and cleaning, so a lot of things are gonna get put away before you come back the first day of school.
So we also found Mr. Samuels. He will be your integrated science 1 teacher for the school year.
All right.
Good to see ya.
So change of plans, we're actually taking you around, it's kind of a square how our school works. And so instead of going to the corner of A and B hall, we're taking you on the hallway just between Mr. Samuels and Ms. Schley's room. That leads you down to the library, the Mac computer lab if you're taking media tech, and the tiered lab if you're taking intro to computer science, and leads towards the band room. So there's a lot of boxes and books and everything as things are getting packed up and put away.
So here's the library, and Mrs. Martinez is in here, and she will be the one who can assist you if you are taking any online classes. This is where you will show up for those hours of the day. Ms. Martinez can assist you and answer any questions in regards to books that you might be interested in.
I like how she's striking a pose there. She's a really good resource on helping you find things you love to read. And then there are the tables and stuff where if you have study hall is always gonna start in the gym or in the cafeteria. And then, if you get a pass from your study hall teacher, you may be able to come into the library for some quiet study. And then we also have another computer lab through those doors in the library for computers for students to use. Heading back out in the hallway, completing the square.
And we're running into Mr. Claflin, who is also another one of the FIA teachers that you may have.
Nice to meet you.
So if we travel this way, this is going out to the Eagle Gym, the auditorium, back to the middle school, elementary. Typically, the hall down here is off limits to students prior to school starting.
But here's this little secret tip. It's kind of a cheater hall if you come down this way and you need to get to your English class. You can come through and right before you get to the auditorium, you can take this little jog right there and then you'll be taking a right at the very end before those double doors and it'll lead you right out to your English 9. So it's kind of a shortcut on the way to get there. Sneak tip.
All of you will have a math class. Some of you are in algebra, some of you will take geometry honors. This is going to be one of those classes. Mr. Wadier is teaching some of those sections.
See his room. And again, all of the names are above the doors and the room numbers are on the side. So if you look at your schedule, all of that will be laid out for you.
So right in the corner is located another women's bathroom and men's bathroom. And kitty corner is our band room with Miss Files.
See if we can find her. So she has an office inside the band room in the hallway, and then you enter through another door into the very big band area where all of you will sit in your chairs with your instruments to learn your music. And heading back out.
Entering D Hall. For those of you who are taking Spanish 1 or Spanish 2, you will come into Mrs. Downey's classroom. And she is in here. So this is where you'll have your Spanish class. This is Mrs. Downey.
We're catching her by surprise, so she's throwing on her mask. There you go. Quick little scan. A lot of the arts are down here, so music, art, band, and Spanish.
If you signed up for women's choir, this is where you'll have that with Mrs. White. Also concert choir. You will also be in here. If you have taken basic art design, 3D art or 2D art, you will also come in here.
This is Mr. McCulley. He's a new teacher this year. He organized and rearranged the art room a little bit for those of you that have been up here before in middle school. He's also going to be teaching media tech. So if you have him, you will have that as well in the Mac lab though, right?
Yes.
All right, thank you.
And
The best place on earth, student services. This is where Mrs. Dulwich and I are housed. I am housed up here every day, Monday through Friday, and Mrs. Dulwich is up here on Thursdays.
Mrs. Melkor is our secretary, so you will probably come to her a lot and get a lot of questions answered. Mrs. Pay is also the senior class advisor. I am the freshman class advisor. So typically homecoming festivities and activities that all of you got to partake in last year as 8th graders and got to see the seniors who won the jug. We will help coordinate those types of activities that go along with homecoming. So anytime you need us, that's Mrs. Pay's office, that is my office. So stop in anytime.
Anytime if it's to chat, having a bad day, have questions about your schedule, college, career, anything, stop in.
And some kids just come in to take candy.
That's also true. We have a good supply of candy usually.
If anyone is assigned to Mr. Winky, you can, this is where his classroom is, so you may also come to his classroom. So for those of you who are taking algebra, this is Mr. Zitlow, and he will also we will show you his classroom.
We're busy people today, everyone. So,
We will bring you down and show you his classroom, but now you get to see who Mr. Zitlow is.
thank you.
Hello.
All right, everybody, I'm Mrs. Pei. You haven't saw my face yet, but you've seen and heard my voice at least. So right now we're in B Hall, and if you look straight down at the end, that would be where B and A came together. We were over there before. B Hall is going to be the primarily hall where a lot of the freshman lockers are going to be. So most likely you will be down here, and you'll know it's B, A, or C Hall because all of the lockers actually have the letter A, B, or C on the start of them. A little bit later, we'll go through and show you how to do a locker combination, but for the most part, this hallway houses your food prep class, and then Mrs. Kellenberg and Mrs. Reamer are also down here, and that's pretty much the only thing that you can get to in B Hall. On the corner here, though, we have our hallway for the Phi Ed classes. I kind of showed you that through the gym before in the video, but the girls' locker room is the closest one to me, and the one way far at the end would be the boys' locker room. And then Mr. Claflin and Miss Virgin have offices in the middle. All right, so we're taking you down the rest of the hall. And this is kind of what I like to refer as like the arm that hangs off the rectangle, because everything's pretty square and rectangular, except this area over here. And this hallway is primarily filled with math and English. So we'll take you a walk down here. There's another side little hallway for varsity locker room. So if you're in a varsity sport, you will get assigned a locker in there and be able to change in there for your varsity athletic practices.
You will also find our athletic trainer, Jason Linsmeyer's office down here. So if you're in need of his services, this is where you will find him.
All right. So bringing you down, we're going to bring you to Mr. Zitlow's rooms first. We already had the privilege to see. So this is where you will have an algebra class in here.
And next door is Mrs. Weinferter.
She teaches math, but you guys won't have her for algebra. There is
Hello.
another algebra teacher. What's his last name? He's a new hire. Mr. Jorgensen? Mr. Jorgensen. So he'll also be teaching algebra and algebra support, and he will be sharing rooms with Mr. Klein. So if you have Mr. Jorgensen as your algebra teacher, you'll be reporting to that health room that we showed you with Mr. Klein earlier today. So let's head on down and we'll check out where your English is going to be.
And again, that's also where, if you are assigned to an algebra support class, that is where you will also be located.
And here we have Miss Cherney. There are a couple of freshmen that have Miss Cherney as a teacher, so her room is in here. You can kind of see her way back there at her desk.
Hello, Mrs. Cherney.
All right, and down we head. All right, so right here. So the 9th grade teacher for English this year is not going to be Miss Huntley, it's going to be Miss Wessel. But this is where she's located. She's new this year as a hire, so she does not have a sign made above her door yet. So we're breaking and entering into her room, and she's coming in right after us here. So
Hello.
this is Miss Wessel, new teacher, so be good to her, and
Yes.
we'll be learning together, which will be kind of fun.
Yes, can't wait.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so Mrs. Kane is also teaching an English section. I wasn't aware of that until just now. So her room is right next to Miss Wessel's room, which again says Huntley. But here's a little sneak peek at what Miss Kane looks like. So look forward to seeing her on Tuesday.
My disaster room. Hi.
That's pretty much where every room looks like right now. Thank you.
All right, and that pretty much completes it. We're gonna walk down to B Hall, and I'm gonna show you a sample of how to open a locker combination in case you don't know how to do that and you haven't had experience with it. But for the most part, that's pretty much the end of the hallway, or the end of the tour. The doorway at the end here, remember before I'd given you that little cheater hint that it brings you right out to the English room? So if you take that cheater hallway, that's where the door brings you out to, and it's literally just a couple footsteps away from your English 9 classroom.
Okay, so we're just gonna take a quick practice as to how to open a locker. So typically what you wanna do is maybe just spin it a couple times to kind of clear it.
Always to the right.
Yep, and you're going to first go to that first number, and then when you go back, you're going to pass that number and then land on the next one. And don't spin it back around, just immediately go right back to where it was. And it should open.
And there
This
you go.
is what the inside of your locker looks like.
So the locker, you always start turning to the right. You go to the second number, past the first number to the left. And then you go to the right again to your third number, and go directly to your third number. If you have questions, you can always ask one of us or any person standing next to you because people are willing to help out. And by the way, we opened an empty locker that nobody's in, so we're not giving away anybody's locker combination. And now we're headed back down B Hall. Notice the line, so we gotta stay to the right. Oh, we're backing up. And
For those of you who signed up for food prep, you will have Mrs. Ehlers. This will be your classroom.
hello, there she is.
Here's Mrs. Ehlers. And this is your classroom, which she is still obviously unpacking and getting ready for you for Tuesday as well.
And there it is. A lot of kitchen sets working here.
Oh, you had to take a picture of that mess, huh?
And so the rest of the way down here, if you happen to have Miss Kellenberg or Ms. Reimer, this is their classrooms.
And you can see Miss Kellenberg's giving us a wave back there in her desk. And then the second door, that's okay. The second door in is actually Mrs. Reamer's spot in here. Little office. So, all right. And back to B Hall. And the only other thing down this hallway, two other things, is the teacher's lounge, which you should never really have a need to go into. And the nurse's room is right here on the corner, back on the corner of A and B Hall where we started, right next to a picture of Miss Betty. So if
But
you're
you
gonna
should
head there,
usually check into the office first if you aren't feeling well. So if they do need to send you to the nurse is located in the middle school elementary office, and they can make a decision as to whether or not to call home or if you're going to take a rest in here for a little bit.
all right.
But I'm not doing those.
And then we're back into A Hall,
And,
headed out towards the front doors, back to the cafeteria. Just as a reminder, all study halls are gonna be starting out in the cafeteria every single day. When you get here, and then you have that opportunity to get a pass to the library if you are chosen to do so. All right, you guys, hopefully Ms. Delwich and I were able to answer a lot of your questions. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to stop in our office. We'll be available that first day and any day to help you as much as we can. Oh, there goes Mr. Bosley, total photobomb. So make sure you let us know if you need something. We're here to help you, and if you need anything, let us know. Thanks so much.
See ya.